Let's go ahead. Let's go live. What is up, everyone? And thank you for checking out Don't Say the F Word. We are a pro wrestling and combat sports podcast. We do not use the F word when we talk about professional wrestling. Don't let your friends use it either. We are live on Instagram. We are raising money for Friendship APL fundraiser right there. You can go ahead and click. All that money goes right to Friendship APL. Also, if you purchase any merch from our merch store, all the profit money, all that money, I don't get any of it. Yep. Big guy is going to donate it all to the APL. So go ahead, you guys go ahead and go buy some merch. Hey, show them the shirt. What, this one? Oh. That's the Yeetland shirt. If you're a Cleveland wrestling fan, you got to have the Yeetland shirt. Go ahead and play some of that Stark's Hard Times. What are we going to do today? We're going to preview WWE Raw. We're going to talk about favorite pro wrestling entrances. We're going to play for When the Bell Tolls. Yeah, you should tell them all the rules for playing for When the Bell Tolls. All right, so here's the rules for playing for When the Bell Tolls. That's our prediction game every Monday. We try to predict when the bell will ring to start the first match on Raw. That's the bell. That's the bell time we're guessing. When it will ring for the first match, not any other bell. Sometimes they just ring a bell to ring a bell. It's kind of weird like that. It is kind of weird how sometimes there'll just be like a pre-bell for literally like no reason. Just a bell will get rung out of nowhere and no one really understands why. Yeah, that shit's weird. But yeah, for When the Bell Tolls, it's very specific. Yeah, it's got to be the bell that we ring. Not that I ring. You're ringing the bell for Raw now? No, that's not what I meant. I meant the bell they ring to start the first match. So that's the one we're guessing time for later. Oh, look at that. Your friend Joe wants to join the show. Yeah, Joe's going to join us. We got.
My hand is just a little big, but brother, I am bad and they know I'm bad. And now it's you bad people.
Dusty Rhodes.
I heard it.
So here we go. The law to these people. I want you to right now. I want you all to know my hand is just in your hand. For this
Okay.
Was Dusty the best promo?
I say this. He was the promo. He was the guy that could predict the future.
I think whenever people look back, or like people who lived the era, oftentimes accredit Ric Flair for being like the best promo guy, right? I mean, he tends to be like the guy who gets referenced kind of the most.
I give it to Dusty.
Which leads me to feel like Dusty's underrated.
Nah, Dusty. I'll say this. Dusty. Life events, he could make it all happen in one click. It wouldn't take him that long to think about what to say.
I mean, yeah, the Hard Times promo. That was the track. So that song is playing is Hard Times by our friend of the show, Starks, Cleveland's own, but like.
I would like to thank the many fans
He put the Hard Times promo into a rap song.
Hey.
Yeah.
But I can say one thing about the Hard Time promo. Everything in that Hard Time promo is coming to life right now as we speak. You do 30 years to get a watch and get taken over by a computer.
I mean, everything in that Hard Times promo is a circle of life in America.
Yeah.
I don't know where you think people are working where they're still getting a gold watch for their retirement, or where 30 years means anything.
Okay.
Those jobs are gone, my friend.
Nah, there's still one. You gotta go.
I mean, if you work for the government, if you get a government gig like some folks, there's some pension options out there, but for the most part, I mean, other than some union gigs that still have the idea of a decent pension later on in life, for the most part, that ain't what America is anymore.
Nah, it's not. But hey,
It hasn't been for a long time,
I could
right?
say I remember. I could say I remember every year I would get. It was like every 5 years you would get like a gift card with a certain amount of money on it, like $25. That was cool. Then once you hit that little 15 mark, hey, that little sign note from all your bosses join together saying, "Thank you for doing your awesome year." Like, no, like, oh, thanks. I'm on my gift card, but no, I don't get my gift card.
um, I don't need any of that.
Oh, you don't get.
Give me the
Oh,
money.
damn.
Don't give me a gift card. Give me stocks. Don't give me, we appreciate your participation for your number of years. No, don't give me that. I want 4% more on my raise. I want the money. I'm here for the money. That's it.
Yeah, that's about it. But that's what they do.
I'm honest about
Universal.
it too. My corporate gig, believe it or not, everyone, don't sit there for podcasts is not what keeps the bills on. I guess it's not why the lights are on. My corporate gig, I'm about that. Give me the money. I want the loot. I'm here for the cash. I'll never tell my superiors otherwise. I never make any. You know, it's become this weird thing in America. You're not supposed to act like you're doing the job for the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to hear like different, like, I just appreciate the opportunity. I don't appreciate the opportunity. I want the paycheck.
You're just here for the
Give me the
labor
money.
check.
I want more. Whatever it is you're giving me, I want. Because I probably bring more to the table than what you're paying for. But that's the nature of business, right?
That's
Every
everybody
business.
Every business.
This is the thing that I think has gotten lost on a younger generation. I hate to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. Oh, these kids nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Start. So this live is another fundraiser for the Friendship APL. I guess it starts. Trunks just let me know that it does not take Apple Pay through Instagram, which is weird. You would think Instagram would accept that. But it'll be up. It'll be part of our. It'll be on the Instagram page. So anyone who wants to donate, don't get a chance to donate now during the live show. It'll be there. Also, if you purchase any merch from our merch table, all profits go there. But if you want to make just a direct donation, it'll go straight to the APL. It's on our Instagram. That money goes right to them. So you can donate there and goes right to the nonprofit of the Friendship APL and help out some animals in need. Those guys, they're going through hard times.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about, like everyone has to be underpaid for a corporation to be successful. You have to bring in more than what you get, which leads us to WWE releases.
Knew it was coming.
There's a lot of speculation this morning, Joe. Mark mentioned Gunther yesterday, and I gave him some shit about mentioning Gunther, taking WWE off his stuff. People are talking like they think Gunther might be leaving.
I heard it could be like a character change with Gunther, why he took everything off from 2022. They said character change for 2022.
What character change would need to happen for that? Him turning back into Walter?
That's what I heard was happening, but rumor.
Dude, I'm going to say this. If Mark was right about Gunther, I'm going to have to make him a new shirt. Eat land.
Hey, they did the same thing with The Miz this morning, too. Like, damn.
The Miz unfollowed WWE.
And he took off WWE stuff on his Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it.
So what do you think? What are you thinking? What is your brain thinking today?
I really think they actually going after the veterans, y'all. Or people that got contracts coming up this year. They coming after them. And we're not renewing on you. Peace out. But on the good side of it, things with Triple H, they get to keep their names. He let everybody keep the names they have now. So when they leave, contracts up, whatever.
There's no way that's going to stay that way. Now, here's a good thing for our truth, is everyone knows who Ron Killings is.
That's his real name. Ron Killings is his real name.
Also, it's what I've been told is that his entrance music, because he recorded it, it's his song, he owns it.
Oh, yeah,
WWE has no rights to his entrance.
Yeah, that is his song. I ain't gonna lie, that is his song. It's on his page.
I can't say that's 100%, but it's what I was told this morning.
Nah, you think about it. Look at Scott Steiner with the siren. That's his song. He could take it anywhere.
Yeah, but that was WCW. Well, no, he had that WWE too, didn't he?
No, he had WCW because he said his friend made the song for him with the sirens, so he could take it over. And then he went to WWE. He could take it over. TNA, take it over because his song.
So, Jonathan Coachman shared something, and he was kind of just talking about everyone being shocked about R-Truth being released and everything. And I commented on it. Got some feedback, and it seems to be that R-Truth is universally loved.
Hey, I could say this.
I think that's part of the problem.
I agree with Ryback. I don't never agree with Ryback what he says, but damn.
What did Ryback say?
Ryback said, you got to know the difference between being released and renewed. That is what people don't understand. So he didn't get fired. They just didn't renew his contract. So there's a difference. And he said the difference is they didn't have no negotiation on renewing his contract. So he's good to go. He can go anywhere and they can bring him back anytime he feels like it. But if he was released, that means he's terminated, fired. So there's the big difference. And everybody believing that he got released when all
that's what R-Truth said. R-Truth said he's been released.
Nah, but in reality, they didn't renew his contract. So there's a difference. The renewal.
Coach was going on about how everybody loves R-Truth.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard talk a lot of younger talents say R-Truth's one of the guys you can go to and just kind of help you understand what life is on main roster WWE. Kind of walk through. He's done it a million times. Do this. When you're in this city, you go here, talk to this person, yada yada. Right.
Right.
Here's one thing I know, and this is TKO is not a wrestling company. Endeavor is not a professional wrestling company. Endeavor is a corporation, and TKO is a part of Endeavor. Now, Endeavor did so many things. They were a media company, they were a talent company, they were agents, they did all these different things. And there was no identity to what Endeavor was, which is why their stock price could never really get the valuation they felt it deserved. So they started separating out Endeavor into different companies to make it more identifiable. So you have TKO is the UFC, the WWE, and the bull riding thing, right? So TKO has an identity. They know what it is. But it's TKO. At the end of the day, it's still Endeavor. At the end of the day, it's still a large corporation. This isn't a family-run business anymore. This isn't WWE's making decisions. This is the corporations making decisions. This is a boardroom. This is shareholders. This is a larger entity. With that larger entity, there's little smaller entities underneath that, and there's people in charge. You have a pecking order. And here's one thing that I know. If you are universally loved by your peers and subordinates, and you aren't afraid to speak up, generally a corporation's okay with you going away. I don't know if R-Truth is a guy who maybe rattles some cages from time to time and speaks up about things that ain't right. But I do know how corporations work. And if you're universally loved and you're willing to speak up, you're not a guy they want around. And Truth seems like, to me, from way on the outside, a guy who would stand up for what's right.
Mm-hmm. And I can say this. Within the past 24 hours, just the past 24 hours, this has been the only person everybody been talking about all day long. This is like even worse when Daniel Bryan broke his neck and had to retire. This is worse than
Yeah.
that.
Well, dude, you got to think about it. How unexpected is R-Truth leaves? He's had a long career. He's had a great WWE run. But the last year or so has been really,
he's been good to watch.
Fun. He's made so much of the show fun. And he just main evented with John Cena. And I get it. I know he wasn't the main event man. Doesn't matter. He was the main event.
It doesn't matter. But he did it.
And, look at what he did with Judgment Day. Judgment Day wouldn't have gotten as over as it did without R-Truth's involvement.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Right? Damian Priest, I still don't think he really mattered as a world champion, but the interactions with R-Truth gave it some good stuff.
Oh, yeah, when they was tag team champions. Yeah, that was funny.
Well, and just the promos. The interaction between Truth and Priest, it gave Truth, it gave Priest a little bit of, I guess, purpose to be like he was protecting the Judgment Day from having Truth in it being silly.
Mm-hmm.
He's able to show he's serious.
He's serious, but damn. Yeah. But still, I'm just saying, this is woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
I mentioned Damian Priest, and that leads me into talking about something I said I wanted to talk about today.
Okay.
The World Heavyweight title.
The World Heavyweight Main Event Jay.
So, yeah. Main Event Jey Uso is the World Heavyweight Champion. Damian Priest was that champion, and that title meant nothing. I feel like the World Heavyweight title has been like a consolation prize from its inception, that they got put on Seth because Roman was holding the other belts hostage, and they weren't taking them off Roman. So let's make another belt. Seth gets it. Drew has it for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Priest gets it. Very forgettable title run for Priest. Then we get it onto Gunther, who I thought was going to carry it for a lengthy period of time, like he did with the IC. He made the IC title matter. Mm-hmm. I don't think Gunther brought the same shine to the world title that he brought to the IC. And now we have the world title on Main Event Jey Uso. And I look at the landscape today. So we have Money in the Bank is coming up.
Saturday. Yeah, Saturday, right? Yeah, Saturday.
Yeah. My gut tells me that Seth probably wins Money in the Bank.
You got Penta, Andrade. Who else in there? Steph. LA Knight. And the finals tonight. Yeah, the finals for Monday night.
And what's the triple threat tonight? They get the last person. Who is it? Do we know? Is that out?
I think it's Dom. Yeah, it's Dom. I know Dom's in it. Then you got, I think, Ray in it, and I forgot the third person.
Let's take a look. We're going to go to our friends over at Cage Side Seats.
Yeah.
Dude, can you believe it's June 2nd already?
No, I can't. I can't believe the school already sent out letters saying, "Hey, we got your open enrollment for your child for second grade." Thank you, Jesus. I'm like, hey.
So let's see what they're saying tonight. They're saying that WWE is giving one of its stars an unfair advantage over everyone else. So CM Punk versus AJ Styles versus El Grande Americano is the match tonight.
Okay.
It says that GM Adam Pearce knows that Chad Gable is the man behind the mask, so this means he's actually giving Chad 2 chances to qualify for the men's ladder match. Gable already failed once last week, and he got pinned by Penta, blah, 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 blah. The rest of the card, Stephanie Valkyria is now officially on Raw. She'll take on Liv Morgan and Ivy Nile in a triple threat match to determine the final spot for women's Money in the Bank. They're predicting Liv for that. Gunther challenges Jey Uso next week on Raw.
Yeah,
So that existing right there. Gunther challenging Jey next week on Raw leads me to feel Seth wins Money in the Bank, cashes in on Raw.
Or you get don't want to say CM Punk winning for the third time.
So the only way I see Punk winning is if Roman returns to stop Seth.
He is reported to be back on Money in the Bank.
But I don't see them doing that. So we look at like a lot of things. I look at ups and downs in the product, and I think it's a little premature to call right now a down in the product. Like for me, yeah, it's a down in the product. I've been pretty rough on WWE these last few weeks, and like a lot of reports that the Netflix viewership is down from where they expected it to be. All these different things. When WWE is down, they turn to Seth Rollins.
Mm-hmm. I'll say this. If I had to do it right, I say the winner of the Money in the Bank is from SmackDown and cashes in on Cena on his last day.
You think?
That's what I would do.
Huh.
I think I say this. Let's just say, fast forward, whoever on SmackDown wins, and then bam, John Cena, very last match. He retains the belt, goes out like the Heelish, and then whoever he's facing, well, let's say he's facing Cody. Then Cody gives him the low blow, crossroads him afterwards, trying to be the Heelish person after Cena did all the dirty deeds to him. Then bam, the SmackDown star who won the Money in the Bank cashes in, keeps the belt home on SmackDown before Cena walks away with it.
Boy, Trunks is sick of all the rumors that Grande Americano is Chad Gable. Me too. It's obviously not the same guy.
Look,
We've seen them both at the same time.
Look, America Grande is 5'8". Chad Gable is 5'6". Big difference, y'all. Get it right. Big difference.
Hey, 2 inches is a lot.
I'm just saying. 5'8", 5'6". That's a very big difference,
Telling
y'all.
your sister that for years. 2 inches is a lot.
There you go.
4 inches is the new foot. Um, I can't believe that Grande Americano has stayed in WWE as long as he has, and hasn't had a match with Chad Gable yet.
Simple, because
I know they're friends. I
they're
know, like,
friends, and he's
but
part
what a
of
match
the.
that would be if we could get Grande Americano versus Chad Gable.
It's
What a match
possible.
that would be.
I mean,
That's
it's very
WrestleMania
possible.
shit right there.
Not that's Worlds Collide.
No?
Yeah, Worlds Collide. But I don't know. They're gonna have it at Worlds Collide. But that's a Worlds Collide match right there. Shit.
One thing to mention before we kind of dig deeper into the card for Raw. Did you see the new Slim Jim thing?
That table? Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, now Slim Jim's got a new deal with WWE that they're going to be the center. They're going to be ring logo, and they're going to be on all the tables. Like the tables that are used in matches, they're going to put the Slim Jim logo on those tables. So whenever you're snapping through a table, you're snapping into a Slim Jim.
Oh, I thought they meant commentary table.
I think they mean both. I think it's going to be on
Wow.
commentary and on the in-match tables.
Okay. Okay.
What are your thoughts on that?
Okay. They did with Snickers, but not on a table, on an actual wooden table, but they did with Snickers.
I think it is genius marketing. Very clever. And I hate it. Like, I think it's smart. I think it's clever. I applaud it.
I'll say this. With the Slim Jim, it's only right because they've been with WWE since '90s. Snap to Slim Jim. So
Hey, they went to WCW.
they went there too. But I would say they are right about what Vinnie Mac said. Vinnie Mac wouldn't want logos of companies on their product in the ring, outside the ring. I think they're right about that, and I think with all this endorsement is helping bring in somewhat money, giving everything a name back again in the world. But I think they just getting too much stuff. Yeah, like that.
I think there's a good place for marketing around ringside props. I really do.
Okay.
Some people might say I'm the originator. I don't really know. I wouldn't say it. Some people might. I don't know. There's just something about it that doesn't feel right. And I feel like if another promotion was doing it, people would be up in arms. But man, it's smart. What do people chant all the time? We want table.
We want table.
Sometimes a match can be stale as hell, and the table will get one of the biggest pops of the night. Your logo's on that table, man. Like, that is some good marketing. Good marketing right there.
It'd be also great. Just be me. What if they just put Slim Jim with a 3D on that table? That'd be great. Just saying. That'd be great marketing.
I'm waiting for a Extreme Rules match, and someone pulls out the bag, and we think it's full of thumbtacks, and it's full of little Slim Jims. A kendo stick that looks like a Slim Jim.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh Lord, he's making a
Hunter,
shirt, y'all. Get ready.
get a ken. Oh,
Oh shit, I
yes.
opened
You know, I like to make my own beef jerky. Though. I do a damn good job.
I know you do. He ain't getting
I should
100,
totally
y'all.
make a shirt, right?
He's not contacting 100, y'all. I'll see the project later, y'all. I'll let y'all know what I think about it.
Trunks has already heard about that there's comic book shirts. There's 2 different comic book designs.
Oh really?
The shirts aren't live yet. They may be limited. They may be a limited run,
Okay.
potentially. We'll see. Definitely want to use those to help raise money for the ATL. Who knows? Maybe maybe we know a guy with a comic book store. Market those for.
There you go. I'm sure he'll do it
Yeah?
for you.
Who knows? So last week, Rusev beat the shit out of Tozawa.
Yeah. Of course, the Jawa.
Sheamus confronted him,
Mm-hmm.
and you have Sheamus as your pick for the next one to be released.
I just got to finish Sheamus.
He's not my pick. I actually have my pick now for the next one to be released. I think I know who it is.
Okay, who you got?
Omos.
You know, it's funny. I saw people in the comments talking about, what is Omos? People kept saying that. I'm like, it could be Omos.
They haven't used him in forever for anything.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he even does ambassador work anymore. I know Titus O'Neil still does, but I don't think Omos does.
The only one knows is Titus O'Neil. And Titus O'Neil said in the interview he likes doing it, and he don't know if he's ever getting back in the ring, but he's willing to do it. But right now, he's the ambassador going everywhere, doing everything for WWE.
Yeah.
And which I don't think he should get back in the ring. He's doing a great job being the ambassador, so he don't need to.
Yeah, I think does a lot of good stuff. Trying to find the rest of the card for tonight, but I don't think there's It's cool that we're going to see Punk in a match with AJ Styles.
Yeah, they said that the last time they fought was like, what, 15 years ago? They said
20. It's been 20 years.
20 years.
And do you think they're going to do a Judgment Day segment saying goodbye to Carlito and R-Truth?
Carlito is part of Judgment Day, so yeah, I think they will. And I think they should just let R-Truth have his last segment. Just come out to the ring. Then you're gonna have everybody. He should close either Raw or SmackDown. That should be the best thing to do.
Let him say goodbye?
Let him say goodbye.
I don't know if they will, man.
Maybe if he opened the show and let the world know that you heard about the rumor, it's true. This is it. But if they did open the show, majority of everybody would cry because it's all true.
Think?
I'm pretty sure they would. That's why I say it'd be better if he did at the end of the show. Because if he did the opening, the show wouldn't feel right. But at the end, it'd be better. Because, yeah. Like, all the main focus would go from whoever fighting to, like, the emotional speech of R-Truth. The farewell for R-Truth. That would be the main topic of the show. And hell, yesterday he was the biggest topic on X, trending worldwide.
He was trending.
It was trending.
We have we also have the War Raiders take on the Judgment Day. I believe the winner of this match gets a shot at
New Day, yes.
New Day. Now, will they face New Day at Money in the Bank or no?
I believe it's Money in the Bank. Because they ain't really got nothing besides two women, the two bank ladder matches. What else? Tag team with Cena and Cody. And I believe Tiffany versus Nia. No, wait, I already had that. Yeah, that's all they got.
And right now, they got. And we have Money in the Bank as the Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I'd imagine we have Rhea winning the women's, Seth winning the men's. Otherwise, I mean, right now, Money in the Bank is LA Knight, Penta, Andrade, Solo, and Seth Rollins. Then whoever wins the triple threat tonight. Who do you have winning triple threat tonight? You think it's going to be Punk?
I think it's probably going to be Andrade. El Americano. I think Seth, Breaker, and Bronson, they're going to stop Punk from winning. And then Punk is going to stop Seth from winning the Money in the Bank.
Really?
Yep.
Man, I can't shake the feeling that Seth wins Money in the Bank. I think it'd be a mistake for Punk to be in Money in the Bank.
That's why they would have them interfere, take Punk out, and then at the Money in the Bank, Punk stops Seth from winning. That'd be the best way to do
it. Yeah, Trunks, that comment got really botched there. You're autocorrect. Did you dirty? I think CM Punk winning a triple threat's a mistake. Yeah, Trunks is a big CM Punk fan. For me, at this stage of things, if I look at what so you have Punk against AJ Styles and Grande Americano. Nothing can ever make me believe CM Punk wins that match. I just can't believe that. And then if I look at what the match is for Money in the Bank, with LA Knight, Penta, Andrade, Seth Rollins, and Solo, I feel like putting Punk in that match doesn't help CM Punk look good. I think he would be. I think he'd be a square wheel. I don't think his style doesn't work well with that group, with the other wrestlers in that match. AJ would be fine. Grande Americano would bring something totally different to the table and make it pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm.
But then whenever I look at that lineup of Money in the Bank, and I look at who could potentially win, no one makes more sense than Seth Rollins.
Mm.
And since no one makes more sense than Seth, should they do that?
It's crazy, but I think they might put on Solo.
Give Solo the briefcase?
I think they're going to give
God,
Solo.
that'd be an albatross around his neck.
I'm only saying, that I think they're picking out Solo to be the winner because if you look at what they're doing right now, they're starting to release a lot of older people, a lot of them that got little, I don't want to say bad thing, but like health problems, body injuries, and Seth, He's up there. He, the man got his body.
Dude, he's like 42.
He's 42, but his body, he's injury. But I think they're gonna put on a younger person, and I think
If Solo
it's gonna be
Solo could make sense because Solo could cash in on Jay, and there's story there. If Seth does it, there's a lot of story there. It could be part of the group. Here's the problem with the group that Paul Heyman has is that everything that they have to do that is very pro wrestling, they're going to have to do it so close to having done it with the bloodline that it's going to, and it's going to be boring.
That's why I said it probably better.
But we have to be working towards Seth Rollins versus CM Punk at WrestleMania, right?
Not really.
CM Punk's going to main event night 2 against Seth Rollins for the world title, and Punk's going to beat Seth Rollins at WrestleMania next year in Vegas. So Trunks, I know you're a huge CM Punk fan, so get ready, because I think CM Punk's going to be. I know this goes. I said he would never main event. I said he'd never main event night 2, but I think Punk faces Seth Rollins for the world title next year at Mania in Vegas.
That would mean if he does, let's just say he does win. That would mean he'll say the next night on Raw, whoever it is on night 2, I'm cashing in that and main event of WrestleMania. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
And then that'll be like the third cash in at WrestleMania.
I don't think they wait that long, man. I feel like you almost have to make Seth Rollins world champion. Otherwise, this group doesn't serve a purpose. And this group should be designed to build up Braun Breaker to being a world champion, and maybe even Bronson Reed. So you got to kind of have that evolution thing going where, hey, Seth is the guy. And then all of a sudden, Braun wants to be the guy. Like, we had teases of that with the Bloodline. Remember how Solo used to look at the world title?
Yeah.
Which is funny to think about that. Like, there was a point in time where, like, and Mark said it, Solo is going to be the guy to turn on Roman. And, like, we were all like, yeah, man, Solo should be the guy to turn on Roman. Solo's a badass. Now Solo's kind of a joke. In his own group, he's the least intimidating person. Panther, what's up, sir?
But he's the mouthpiece of the group, though.
Panther, we're talking Money in the Bank. We're talking, I feel like Seth Rollins winning and cashing in on Jay is the no-brainer. But I can't determine if I think that's a good thing or not. It's just, it's so obvious. Yeah, Sarah Logan got released. My prediction for the next release is Omos. Joe's prediction is Sheamus.
And my prediction, Solo wins the Money in the Bank. There you go.
And I think that the winner of the Money Bank just simply has to be Seth Rollins. Not that it's the choice I would necessarily make. I just don't know what else you do here. If you don't put the world title on Seth, what's the point of this group?
Simple. He doesn't really need to win Money in the Bank to get the title.
That's true. We could just have Jay face Seth Rollins, and that's the only explanation we need is that Jey Uso is facing Seth Rollins and it's for the world title. He does not have to have the briefcase to compete for the world title or win the world title. I absolutely agree with you there.
And if you think about it, it could be like, let's go with it. They could have the tag team or the IC title. Or if you really want Seth to get the world title, it could be that. But right now, they go out the tag team. Seth can get the IC. Then later, he ain't had. Wait, have you had? Yeah, he had the IC before. Yeah. We can do that for the time being. They can have all the goals.
So I got another prediction for you coming for Money in the Bank is the prediction that Punk actually wins Money in the Bank and cashes in on Cena. This gets us Cena and Punk one last time.
Well, he did say he wanted to fight Cena one more time. Yeah.
That's the only way we get that. It's the only way we get that is if Punk wins Money in the Bank. That kind of makes sense. So Roman could cost Seth the win. Punk could get that briefcase. Punk goes to say, "Hey, I want to face John Cena at whatever."
December 13th be better.
Dude, there's no way they wait. And this is why I say there's no way they wait. They haven't played the long game with the Money in the Bank briefcase for a good payoff in a long time. Look, last year, look what happened.
Tippy, Priest, yeah.
You know, the whole time Priest had it, it just felt like an arbitrage. Like, get it off the guy. Then once we got it off of him, it was like, get the world title off the guy. But man, Punk getting it face Cena makes sense. And of course, Cena's going to win. Cool.
Go see Cena. The last real champion. Oh man, that's sad. Damn. But you know, if they did do it, are they gonna be in Chicago again? Or no?
They'll be in Chicago sometime before the end of the year. I don't know when though.
I think that'd be probably better for him to do it in Chicago if he was to win. Chicago would be better.
I don't think they have any. Let's see. I don't think there's a WWE pay-per-view coming to Chicago.
Oh wait. No, it was Backlash. Closest one, Backlash. Yeah, Backlash was the closest one. I don't know.
Let's see what we got.
Remember, John Cena only got 23 more matches.
But here's what we got after Money in the Bank. So Money in the Bank is this Saturday. Night of Champions is June 28th in Saudi Arabia. We have a Saturday night main event. That's going to be July 12th in Atlanta. We then have SummerSlam in Jersey. Clash in Paris is in France, and that's August 31st. Halloween Havoc, that's going to be an NXT show.
I'm about to say, yeah.
Crown Jewel is taking place in Perth, Australia. That's October 11th. Survivor Series is November 29th, and that's in San Diego. We have another Saturday night main event, which is sometime in Q4. We don't have a date yet or a location. And that's it.
That's it.
2025 is almost over, bro.
It don't feel like it though. Shit, damn.
There's not a whole lot currently there's no major event planned in Chicago. Now this, I don't have a list of like TV, Raw, and SmackDown. There's about a 0% possibility CM Punk faces John Cena on anything that's not a premium live event.
Saturday main event. Cena's last match. I think that should
Man,
be it.
what if Cena does a lot of? Well, what if he does the rest of the Saturday night's main events? He could do that this
Yeah.
year. I don't know, man. I don't. I still say John Cena should not drop that title to anybody. He should retire the champ.
He should. Then they do like the 1992 Royal Rumble. Ooh.
I don't even know if they even necessarily have to do that. I think you should just have the world champion be the world champion. You know, hey, if Punk were to win the briefcase and not get the opportunity to cash in on Cena, and Cena leaves with the belt, and Rollins is world champion, Punk cash in on Rollins at WrestleMania.
Yeah. I don't think they want to do that. I think people are tired of seeing the Seth and Punk feud. I think they're going to do something different. It's the only way. Something different got to happen.
Can I tell you something?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm sick of CM Punk.
Oh, damn.
Which is something I didn't think I would ever say. Like,
So,
I don't know, man. I've said this before, that I think wrestling fans like the idea of CM Punk more than we actually like Bill Brooks.
mm-hmm.
Last time I said that, I don't know who it was, but somebody said that Karrion Kross is more CM Punk than CM Punk is. I don't know that I fully understand that train of thought, but I kind of get it at the same time. But, dude, I don't know. I don't know. Would you book CM Punk to be world champion in 2026? Because I think that's the route we're headed.
Not really. I mean, I'll give him a title shot, but I wouldn't make him be the champion.
You know, if I look at, like, the landscape of WWE, and I think the things that they're going to do, which some of these things are things that I think that they just kind of have to do for what the landscape is. I think Seth Rollins has to become world champion. Otherwise, I don't think his group makes any sense. And it can't serve its purpose if he's not world champion. Because we have to have that animosity at some point between him and Braun Breaker, where Braun's like, I want to be world champion. It's got to happen. That's how this works. Pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like, we eventually have to get Seth versus CM Punk. We have to have that happen.
Yeah,
Here's my thing. But right now, like, I don't even care to see that. Like, everything I think WWE has to do is all stuff that I'm not that interested in seeing.
Mm.
Am I just jaded? Is it just me?
No, not you. But I think that's what they're doing.
And don't get me wrong, I still enjoy WWE.
I enjoy it.
I'm afraid that they're afraid to do something different. Like, Hunter seems to book Dusty 101. Like, right? Like, it's like the tried and true wrestling tropes. If you're going to put a faction together, it's going to be a heel faction. And they're going to, your leader of the heel faction is going to become champion. And they're going to cheat to keep the title, just like the Bloodline. I mean, there was a point with the Bloodline where you could close your eyes and book the match. Ref bump, interference. Well, Roman kicks out of everything. Ref bump, interference. Solo hits the spike. Roman wins. They did that for 2 years. They did all of that for 2 years to have Solo lose to Roman Reigns. We made Solo be the guy who kept Roman champion to then have Solo lose to Roman Reigns. In that moment is where I feel like I kind of check out with WWE.
Oh, really?
because that booking logic makes no sense. And I don't think Dusty would have booked that way.
You got to think like
No,
Dusty.
Chunk's playing Marvel Rivals. That game's fun.
Yeah.
I've been playing Frag Punk lately. But I mean, am I off base on that? Like that? I mean, that's Dusty 101, right? Heel leader, Ric Flair. The Horsemen cheat for him to stay champion. Eventually, a good guy overcomes. So you kind of have to make Seth be world champion. And eventually a good guy has to overcome. Here's a problem. CM Punk isn't a good guy. He's not the baby face in this damn story. He's the heel.
We're going with the Cody thing again.
And then do you do like Cody Rhodes is probably going to beat John Cena.
Probably so.
That I don't think should happen because it's too on the nose. It's Dusty booking on the nose. Okay, this guy was a good guy forever. Well, now he's a heel, and we already have a super baby face. So let's just let the super baby face be super baby face, and just do this. Cody Rhodes should not beat John Cena for that title. If someone's going to beat him for that title and send him packing, it should be to make them a star. So your idea that one of the SmackDown guys should win the Money in the Bank and cash in on Cena and beat him makes sense. But they're not going to do it because TKO is not going to let them do that. That's risky. That's risky.
It's risky, but it's something nobody would never expect.
If LA Knight gets that briefcase and LA Knight cashes in on John Cena on December 13th and sends John Cena home, is that good for business or bad for business?
I say it's good.
Okay?
Yeah,
Is that better than John Cena retiring as world champion and leaving us with one world champion? Whomever it is. Whether it's Jay, whether it's if it's somehow Roman.
It's a good theory here. That's gonna be good thinking.
Right? I certainly don't want the person beating John Cena to be babyface Cody Rhodes. Because babyface Cody Rhodes as world champion was not interesting to me. And I'm a Cody Rhodes fan.
I told you what
Cody chasing the title for 2 years, super interesting. Wanted to see him. Here's why Cody as world champion didn't work. No heel. No monster heel. You had a monster heel in Roman Reigns. And you teamed him up.
With Cody Rhodes, yeah.
Trump says modern WWE sucks for him without CM Punk. After Austin, Punk was his guy. I get it. And the pipe bomb is what brought pro wrestling back into my periphery. I get it. I do. But he's not the hero. And that's the biggest problem I have with Punk in WWE today. He shouldn't be booked as a babyface. He shouldn't be the hero. The reality is, us OG Punk fans shouldn't like the Punk of today. And WWE fans really shouldn't like Punk because the 10 years he's away. Seth is right. Seth Rollins' character is right about the CM Punk character. He's right.
Mm-hmm.
And everything that Punk stood for in the 10 years he was away has all been washed away and doesn't mean anything to the guy. From being a CM Punk fan, he's a hypocrite. The things he said about The Miz for wrestling matches in Saudi Arabia, and now he's signed with the company that does business in Saudi Arabia, that's hypocritical. For him to cry about main eventing night one of a buy one, get one if WrestleMania, like he said to MJF, pretty hypocritical. So he shouldn't even be the good guy to CM Punk fans. So the only way a babyface Cody Rhodes championship run again works is opposite a heel CM Punk. That I would see. Give me a heel CM Punk opposite a babyface Cody Rhodes world champion, or vice versa. But you give me heel CM Punk putting promos on babyface Cody Rhodes, there's a lot of material there.
Yeah,
There's a lot that can be said. And let's blur the lines of reality, because Punk can talk about the Bucks, he can talk about Kenny, he can talk about AEW.
He just him. I don't know about that. I'll say the 2010-15 Punk was the greatest Punk era.
Hey man, I love the Pipe Bomb. All that shit, the shit with The Rock, that shit was so good.
It was good. But now you got, I'm a grown man. I was childish back then. Now he just being
I get it.
like that.
Hey, I'm not mad at the man for getting the bag either. I'm happy he's getting paid. I'm glad he's there. I mean, CM Punk returning to wrestling, that's just been full of great moments. I thought his AEW run was fantastic. I hate that it ended the way that it ended. Man, I thought it was great. AEW CM Punk is quite possibly my favorite CM Punk. The matches we got, the feuds we got, the promos we got, him and Eddie Kingston. God, that promo was good.
Oh, the heated arguments he had too. Ooh, shit.
Dude, Eddie and Punk standing across the ring from each other, corner to corner, just letting it out. There was so much tension.
And they legit hate each other in real life. Legit.
Yeah.
And Tony did it. Tony let him go out there and say what they got to say.
Yeah, man, it was good. It was great. That's one of the top promos of the last 5 years. It's up there. The CM Punk MJF feud was fantastic. At his age, I think Punk delivered what's possibly the best dog collar match ever with MJF. Shit was good.
It was good. It's up, man.
But he shouldn't be a babyface in WWE. He just shouldn't be, man.
It's you.
No part of the character should be a babyface.
That's like saying Randy Orton should never be a babyface.
And here's the thing. It's okay if the crowd cheers him. Just he shouldn't be booked like a babyface. Book him like a heel. Let the crowd cheer him if they want to. Then you create the gray area, and then you create the anti-hero. He's the bad guy the crowd cheers. That works. That makes sense. Problem is, they're not going to do that. We're also not going to turn Cody heel. We're going to have a babyface Cody Rhodes be not really a heel John Cena, because John Cena's not really a heel. You told me that.
I told you.
And then Mark Henry doubled down on it. Because Mark Henry told me cool heels aren't really heels.
Okay, what I'm saying about Cena is just the man letting all his frustrations off his chest for 25
that doesn't make him a heel. Doesn't make him a heel, man.
Okay.
Cheating to win, I don't even know if in 2025, does cheating to win make you a heel?
Basically, yeah. Cheating.
Does it?
Hey, work for Ric Flair, work for who else?
Yes, sir. Trunk Sexual Chocolate himself told me. Live on the air and busted open. Cool heels aren't heels. He said if the crowd likes them, they're not a heel. I said, really? And he said, yeah. Okay. I personally don't necessarily agree with that philosophy. I think cool heels can, in fact, be heels. But Mark Henry said no. I can't remember if Bubba agreed with him or not. But I don't really care about Bubba Ray's opinion. But yeah, Mark Henry said cool heels aren't heels in the context of AEW champions at the time. At that time, it was widely perceived that AEW had a problem with a lack of heels, but all their champions were heels. And he said, yeah, but they're all cool heels, so it doesn't matter. Like, man, I don't really know that I see it that way. Like, heels are heels. Yeah, if the fans like you, that doesn't mean you're not a heel. But I do kind of see the point. Now, today, I see the point. Because the crowd likes John Cena. They don't hate John Cena.
The only thing about it is the crowd with John Cena at, people are cheering John Cena because they get to see him for the last time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that is why they do. Even when he came out
makes
Saturday,
it a cool heel. They're buying the merch. They're cheering when the music hits. They're only booing when they're supposed to boo. That's not hate. What MJF at his peak was getting from the crowd, that was hate. What John Moxley gets from the crowd, that's hate. People want to see John Moxley lose that world title. People don't want to see John Cena lose.
People want John Cena to keep that belt forever.
I think people are okay with Cena losing in December. People are okay with that. But nobody wants to see John Cena take that L out of nowhere. Like, let's say Andrade wins Saturday. Wins Money in the Bank. You know what else happens on Saturday? It's kind of crazy. On Money in the Bank pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
Both of your world champions are in the main event match. In a tag match. Right for the pickets. So let's say Andrade, that we throw a curveball, Seth doesn't win. Punk doesn't win the Money in the Bank. And Andrade gets that briefcase. And here we are, main event time. Everything's happening. There's, it's a tag match, so, you can have some craziness. Let's say, I don't know, man. Let's say that Jay hits a super kick and the Usos splash. And Andrade comes out the crowd with his briefcase, cashes in, and pins John Cena. Does the crowd cheer?
Nope.
Not going to cheer, man.
They're
going to boo Andrade. Andrade's going to take the heat. He's going to be the most hated wrestler in the world. Especially if you have Andrade, like, let's say Andrade does that. And John Cena drops the title to Andrade. He cashes in. And then after that happens, Cena gets on the mic and goes, hey, I'm done now. You don't get me till December. Andrade just became the most hated man in pro wrestling.
He became the last man to beat Cena for the title. Can't beat that now. You really can't beat that. I want that.
That's true. I mean, you can't, but wouldn't that be the reaction you'd get for a babyface?
Wouldn't that be the reaction you know that, hey, maybe he'll go for an 18th title and retire?
I don't know. It's hard for me to see John Cena as a real heel. John Cena's pretending to be a heel.
Yeah, but either way you look at it, he's doing a good job at it. Well, not doing good. He's doing his best way to be a heel for the fans. But no matter which way you look at it, the fans, 9% will still cheer for him, even if they boo him.
But let me ask you this. So I had someone tell me that they think John Cena's heel turn was a mistake.
I don't think John Cena's heel turn was a mistake. There's no other chance to do it. You had to do it then.
See, this is what I don't get. Everybody still forget that Cena wasn't always a babyface. He was a heel.
Right.
He was a heel for like 2 years straight.
Yeah.
And everybody just forget. And everybody forgets about that.
Here's my thing. This is my thing with John Cena as a heel. It just doesn't come natural. It feels like he's playing John Cena on TV.
He's playing himself.
It doesn't feel authentic. It feels very forced, and I think that's the problem that people are seeing. Where people are saying, "Oh, it was the wrong thing to do." No, it wasn't. It was the right thing to do, and it's enjoyable.
It's enjoyable, yeah.
But it's not heel work. Like, it's just not. It's cool heel work, which is almost babyface.
And what's another thing? It's almost like when Sting turned heel in TNA. Nobody didn't want to believe it, but he made it. He pulled it off.
Yeah.
He pulled it off.
Yeah, I can see that.
And that's what it is, because everybody recognized Sting as a babyface for, God, what? Ooh, shit. Almost 30 years he was a straight babyface. Then he went to TNA. He did the heel run with the Main Event Mafia.
Yeah.
And he made that turn out good. Even being the heel. But then the heel persona didn't work, so he went back to he went to the Joker, being crazy, yeah. Then babyface.
Joker's thing.
Yeah.
Joe, it's that time of the show before we get out of here.
All right.
For when the bell tolls,
Okay.
we got Go Home Raw ahead of Worlds Collide, which seems to be the biggest waste of a premium live event. Don't know anything that's happening on it. Couldn't care any less. But ahead of Money in the Bank, what time will the first bell ring to start the first match?
$26.
8:26.
26. Going with 26.
All right. Your sister did not give me a time.
That's good. That's good.
I'm taking 8:20.
Okay.
I think it'll be 8:20. Everyone else can drop your comments. What time do you think the first bell will ring to start the first match on Monday Night Raw tonight? I don't know I don't know who I think is going to open Raw. I mean, I think Gunther's probably going to be there to address Jey Uso.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that, Joe. You beat Trunks to 26, or Trunks to take it 25.
Hey, look at this way, Trunks. I always lose by a minute. I'll be so close by that 1 minute.
We'll get a winner eventually. Eventually we'll get a winner. It's crazy that we haven't had one in so long.
Mm-hmm. Are you mad?
I think that, the week starting off with R-Truth being released, followed by Carlito, followed by Sarah Logan. I think it has a lot of wrestling fans uneasy. I think we're reading up deep into everything, and we're worried about everything. Here's one thing I'll say. There's no better time to be a pro wrestling fan. No better time to be a pro wrestler. There's a lot of work out there. A lot of these folks can, Carlito's already a world champion in his family's promotion in Puerto Rico. He gonna find work.
He'll find work.
I think everyone wants to book R-Truth. So I think you gotta go find. I think you gotta go make some money. He's also a guy who I think WWE never maximized the possibilities with Ron Killings. I think he could have done movies for them. I think he could be a great ambassador for them. I think he is a guy who people genuinely like, trust, and care about. Any major promotion will be lucky to have a talent like that on their roster.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going nowhere. I think he's gonna just chill with wrestling. He might do Comic Cons and all that good stuff, but I don't think he might wrestle.
I think he would be a great person to have backstage in AEW. And I think he would be a person who you could do a commentary, like an interview, backstage interview spot, or how RJ City has the AEW YouTube show. Give R-Truth something like that.
Or he could do like a hip hop podcast.
Yeah, or just a podcast in general. If R-Truth does a podcast, I'd be happy to be a guest.
Okay. Yeah. I believe everybody be happy to be a guest on R-Truth Show podcast.
Just saying, put it out there. All right, everyone. Thank you for checking us out live on Instagram for our Raw preview show. We will be back on Wednesday. We'll recap Monday Night Raw. We'll preview Dynamite. Joe, you gonna watch NXT?
I'll probably watch NXT. I'll find someone to watch it.
All right, I'm not watching NXT. Just gotta put that out there. All right, everyone. Thank you for checking us out today live on Instagram. It's on YouTube or Spotify. Hey, great. That means I remember to do it. Until Wednesday, guys. We're out. Enjoy Raw and stay cool.
Cool.